Sandra, we've got 4 artists exhibiting now. They all have something in common. We're talking about abstract art.
That's right, absolutely. I'm very interested in the movement. When I lived in Chicago and I was at the University of Chicago, I did some graduate work on Kandinsky and on the New York School, and I got very interested in the different types of abstraction. And I invited these 4 artists because even though they're all abstract, they approach the process in a very different way.
Can we pick out an example from each of the artists exhibiting?
Surely. Shall we begin with Robin Sewell? Robin is absolutely amazing in his inventiveness of creating all sorts of tools to use on the canvas. And I think you can see the combs, and he actually has a projectile kind of gun that shoots the paint at the canvas. It's just wonderful when you go there. In contrast, when we have Jenny Morse, and Jenny I would think is very much a color field painter. I mean, probably people are going to say, oh no, but it makes me think of Helen Frankenthaler, and you know, that very flowing, soft, gentle application of paint. This is a work on paper. And this is Jenny's around the corner too.
And these are locally based
Yes,
artists?
they are. They're all in Trowbridge and near Frome. And Catherine is actually in California right now, but they're all friends, and they've shown together in the past, and they asked me to create an exhibition with them. They've been absolutely wonderful and collaborative. We're going to have a talk on the 20th of March, and they're all going to talk about the different ways they approach abstraction.
That's coming here to this gallery?
Yeah, in this space. We'll be talking, advertising that soon. And then this is Susanna Lyle, and Susanna is wonderful, free nature, botanical paintings, and then she comes across always with this final kind of grid. Makes me think that she's containing the painting in this grid that brings it back into the center. So you can see how different that is from Jenny's. So yeah, it's a quite incredible contrast. And then if we go along, this is another one of Robin Sewell. And I think this is probably one of my favorites because with accident, he's created this thing that reads as a kind of a space odyssey. It's absolutely marvelous. He'll have to tell you on the 20th how he juggles it and how he actually gets these different images into the space.
It's a sort of Stonehenge.
Yes, it is actually. I hadn't thought of that. And then, sorry, you were looking at Catherine Richardson, and I didn't speak to that. Catherine is also local, but she's living in California right now. And Catherine, for me, is very much spontaneity. These are inks and acrylic on paper, and she really allows accident to take a great chance, you know, or incorporate it into her works. Of course, so does Robin, but she comes out with a very different, gentle kind of floating. It makes me think of Ashok Gorky in a way. I don't know why. Anyway. So I think it's a very exciting show because it gives people a chance to, as you were doing before, interpret what's in abstraction. I think people either like something that is figurative and cognitive that they can see, like a Cézanne, an apple, an orange, or they approach the abstraction and look for something in it anyway. So I always find it fascinating that people stand for hours trying to find, you know, the cat in there or the dog in there or something or other. But really abstraction is all about color, line, spontaneity. It's a language you have to learn to actually appreciate it.
I have to say, with the turnover in this pop-up gallery, you're doing incredibly well, and it's quite an opportunity for an awful lot of artists to come and show their work.
Yes.
How is it going for you here?
Well, it's going well. You know, they're quite supportive, the management, and it would be lovely if we had more footfall. I think that it takes a while for a gallery to be known that you're there, but it's picking up all the time. And I'm also having really exciting, interesting conversations. We expect quite a few people this evening from Emerge, from Bath Society of Artists. So they're all beginning to come to have a look at the show and have a good conversation, really. So I'm enjoying that very much.
And you are a couple of footsteps off Milsom Street here. It's amazing.
I know.
How close to the outside world this gallery is.
I know. I should be out there with a glass of Prosecco, leading them all down the path.
We'll have you out there with a sandwich board.
Yes, I think that's needed, definitely.
Sandra, this exhibition is running until when?
It's running until the 28th of March. And as I say, we're going to have an event on the 20th of March, which will be open to the public as well. And we'll be beginning to promote that shortly.
I'll put your website on this article because that's the way people can make contact with you and see what you're doing in Bath.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. You've been very supportive.